Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of natural gas. And I will also be going over United States natural gas, ticker symbol UNG, as well as 2x leveraged natural gas, ticker symbol BOIL. But before I get into those, I'm just going to do a brief update on the natural gas chart here. And so it does look like on Thursday, before the long weekend, we did close at a price of $1.78.7. And so we did get a green day, being up about 2.5% on the day, but that was following a red day being down 3.5%. And so one thing that does stand out to me is this uptrend. It does look like that acted as support. We did get one close briefly below it. And then the following day, we did dip below it, but then closed above not only this bottom uptrend, but also this upper uptrend. One thing that might be a little concerning about the uptrend that we did test as support is that could be the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. So I will be very curious to see if price does reclaim this top uptrend based on the lows over here, and if we're able to reclaim that level and start moving higher. And so I would really look for multiple closes. So that would be another close above the 618, which is at a price of $1.77.9. And then above that, the 50% retracement, that is at a price of $1.79.75. So hopefully we can inch our way up over the course of the next week, reclaiming those levels. But if not, it is quite possible we could be going lower. And so the 786 is at a price of $1.75.26. That does coincide with this neckline. So if we do get multiple closes below $1.75, I think that could suggest that this head and shoulders pattern may play out, which, might suggest notable downside. And I do also want to point out that we did test the full retracement here, and that was coming to a low on Thursday of $1.71.9, and that is exactly the low that was hit over here on the 14th. So, hopefully that acts as a double bottom, that the bottom is in, we do move higher, but if we do go lower, I do have the 1618 extension from this retracement, which is at a price of $1.62.2. And if we do go to that level, I do suspect we might be retesting this orange downtrend to the downside. So do be cautious of that. But I am really hoping that the bottom is in, because it's just been so painful following this top up here and retracement. It's just been pretty discouraging. So I'm hoping the bottom is near, if not already in, with this double bottom. But we will have to wait and see. And then switching over to look at UNG. I did not adjust any of the lines on this chart from last week. And, I have to say it's pretty remarkable that we did see, this gap down to a price of $1.25, just above the 1618 extension from this retracement that is at a price of $14.24. So just being 1 cent lower than that low. We did get a bounce the following day, being up about 1.5%, closing the week on Thursday at a price of $14.57. But, it does look fairly weak. We just got, this doji that suggests that there's some indecision. So we got an open and a close at the exact same price. This big wick up, really, to this blue line, basically. The high of the day was $14.92, so just 1 cent below that blue line. Could suggest that we will see a pullback. Perhaps $14.24 will be hit, and maybe that will then act as the bottom. But, this is a new all-time low for UNG, unlike natural gas. This is a lower low, so not looking so great there. So we might definitely be revisiting $14.25, $14.24, or, maybe even going to $14 a share. So do brace for that. I definitely am. I have been pacing myself with this one. But it is quite possible we did close 1 cent above this previous, let's see, low at 1456 before this run up. So it is quite possible we are at support, and we will have to see in the coming week. But like I said, I'm really just pacing myself, waiting to see what happens. I wish I could be putting more into it, but I've just been blown away, every week that this goes lower and lower. Occasionally it goes higher, but usually lower. So I'm just pacing myself, and I am expecting a revisit of 1425, if not 1424. Hopefully that is the bottom. Hopefully 14 is the bottom if this is not. But we're just going to have to wait and see. It's been, I have to say, pretty discouraging. But hopefully we are getting back to, the 1578, if not higher levels. But again, just pacing myself. And then here I'm just going to zoom in on the chart before switching over to now look at Boyle, 2x leverage natural gas. This almost made it down to the 1618. That is at a price of $12.16, hitting a low on Wednesday, the 27th, of $12.28. So, being 12 cents above that line, so it wasn't really a good predictor of what the bottom would be, and that could suggest that we will be retesting that low, 12.28, if not going lower, as we did get, not an open and close in the exact same price, but we did get what looks like to be a fairly indecisive day on Thursday, perhaps just due to the long weekend. But we did open at 12.82, closing the week at 12.86, being just a little green on the day. Did fill the gap that we formed to the downside, but we did get rejected from these levels that I have outlined over there. So this one, again, Boyle, I do feel like it's a very risky one with that 2x leverage. So, I would brace for 12.16, and, with that being just above $12, I think that $12 could be revisited if we do return to the previous low of 12.28. But, there are plenty of levels to the upside. Maybe the bottom for Nat Gas is in. Who knows? But, really, I am just waiting to see what happens. And, like I've said in previous videos, the only one that I do have a position in is UNG. And like with Boyle, we did fill that gap to the upside. So, there is that, maybe that does mean there is further downside for UNG, for Boyle, as well as natural gas. So I would, brace for further downside, a brace to break below $1.71.9. But keep an eye on these levels that I did go over. It is quite possible we are finding support with one of these trend lines. However, it is possible we are forming a head and shoulders. So do brace for further downside, but do keep a chin up. We might be moving higher, and that's what I'm trying to do. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.